Thank you for joining me today in this exercise. As with others, a part of the series, I'll be reading a paragraph to you, such as the one located just behind me, and embedded within this paragraph are the potential for errors related to grammar, punctuation, syntax, and so forth. Please keep that in mind as you listen to me read. I apologize, I have the hiccups. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and of course, once I've read the paragraph to you, I'll step out of frame, and I'm hoping you can read that, and ask that you pause the video to make corrections independently, and resume when you're ready to correct with me, as we will correct them together. Let me know if I perhaps have missed something, which of course happens, or if you suggest a better alternative to what I've offered as far as an edit is concerned in the comments section below. All right, I'm gonna struggle to read this with my hiccups, but let's go ahead and get started. Right at the beginning, a stranger watching Danny and his dog would think they didn't have a care in the world. That stranger would be so wrong, though. Danny was under pressure to catch a fish that day. If he didn't, his family would go hungry. As soon as Danny was out of earshot, Mr. O'Donnell took his wife's hand. Fiona, he said, I think we should sell the farm. That would give us enough money to sail to America. We'll starve if we stay here. You're right, Patrick, said Fiona. How many of our neighbors have already starved to death? This famine has taken a terrible toll. All right, go ahead and pause here to make those corrections. I'm gonna make that a little larger to make those corrections, and resume when you're ready to correct with me. Oh, geez. Okay, I'm moving and shaking, which tells me that you have hit play. We're gonna go ahead and get started. So right at the beginning, we have a stranger watching Danny. Danny is a proper noun, which means you need to capitalize it. So we're gonna go ahead and do that right now. So Danny, and I'm gonna make this line a little bit thicker so that you can see it, it's more prominent. So Danny and his dog would think they didn't have a care in the world. That stranger would be so wrong, though. Danny was under pressure, which is misspelled. It's Pressure. So he was under pressure to catch a fish that day. If he didn't, which is a contraction of the words did and not, and when you join them together to form that contraction, you want to include the apostrophe. In this case, whenever you're adding not to a word, the apostrophe sits between the N and the T. It replaces that O. Didn't. His family would go hungry. Let's start a new sentence with a capital. So as soon as Danny was out of earshot, Mr., which is a title, and it's also an abbreviated title, which means you have to add a period right at the end of it. Not that it ends the sentence, but again, it's an abbreviation. So with that, you need to have that period. Mr. O'Donnell took his wife's hand, not a multitude of wives. It's not that kind of relationship, right? So it's apostrophe S to show that singular possessive of her hand. Fiona, he said. Well, if he's saying this, that suggests this is dialogue, which means I need to go ahead and capture that, with a quotation mark. So Fiona, this is our break, so we close quote, he said, and then we continue because his thought progresses. So open quote. I think we should sell the farm. That would give us enough money to sail, which is a homophone in this case. Sounds like the word I intend to use, but based on the context where it says sail to America, meaning to travel to, I know that I need to change this sail, which is like, you're distributing something based on an exchange of money. In this case, it should be SAIL, like I'm going to travel using a sail on a ship to America. So we're going to capitalize the name of that country. All right, we'll starve, which should have an E at the end, if we stay here, period. Close quote. You're right, Patrick, said Fiona. So this, again, suggests that it's dialogue, meaning we need to include that quotation mark. You're right, Patrick, close quote, said Fiona. There's our break. New sentence continues that thought. So we open quote. How many of our neighbors have already, which should have one L, so A-L, already starved to death, which is misspelled, D-E-A-T-H. And it's a question, even though it's rhetorical. She doesn't mean for him to sit there and quantify it, but still a question. It's interrogative, so we're going to end it with a question mark. This famine, which has one M, and then ends with an E, has taken a terrible toll, which is T-O-L-L, period, and close quote. All right, I made it through regardless of my hiccups. If perhaps I've missed something, please let me know what I missed. If you have a better suggestion or a better edit, let me know what you did in the comment section below. Otherwise, please like the video if you did find it helpful, which I hope you did, and subscribe if you'd like to continue to practice with me. All right, thank you.